Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapadakamadam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Serupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Visakamitam Sa Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, in the matter of creation, Chapter 3, specific. What's the title again? Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Text number 40. Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Puranam Brahma Shamitam
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Uttama Sloka Charitam
Uttama Shloka Charitam
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Nishreyasaya Lokasya
Nishreyasya Lokasya
Danyam Swasti Anyanam Maham
Danyam Shasti Anyanam Mahat
Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Uttama Sloka Charitam
Uttama Shloka Charitam
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Nishreyasaya Lokasya
Nishreyasya Lokasya
Danyam Swasti Ayanam Maham
Dhanyam Swasti Anam Mahat.
Somebody else.
Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Uttama Shloka Charitam
Uttama Shloka Charitam
Bhagavan Rishi
Chakara Bhagavan Rishi
Shreyasaya Lokasya
Nishreyasya Lokasya
Swastayanam Mahat
Dhanyam Swasti Anam Mahat.
Word for word meaning. Idam, this Bhagavatam, book containing the narration of the personality of Godhead and His pure devotees. Nama, of the name. Puranam, supplementary to the Vedas. Brahma Sanitam, incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna. Uttama Sloka, of the personality of Godhead. Charitam, activities. Chakara, compiled. Bhagavan, incarnation of the personality of Godhead. Rishi, Shri Vyasadev, Nishayasya, for the ultimate good, Lokasha, of all people. Dhanyam, fully successful. Swasti, Ayanam, all blissful. Mahat, all perfect. Translation. This Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of God and is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Everybody please repeat. This Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of God. And it is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. And it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declared that Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless sound representation of all Vedic knowledge and history. There are selected histories of great devotees who are in direct contact with the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna and is therefore none different from him. Srimad Bhagavatam should be worshipped and respectfully as we worship the Lord. Thereby we can derive the ultimate blessings of the Lord through its careful and patient study. As God is light, all bliss and all perfection, so also is Srimad Bhagavatam. We can have all the transcendental light of the Supreme Brahman, Sri Krishna, from the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, provided it is received through the medium of the transparent spiritual master. Lord Chaitanya's private secretary, Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, advised all intending visitors who came to see the Lord at Puri to make a study of the Bhagavatam from the person Bhagavatam. Person Bhagavatam is the self-realized bona fide spiritual master. And through him only can one understand the lessons of Bhagavatam. In order to receive the desired result, one can derive from the study of the Bhagavatam all benefits that are possible to be derived from the personal presence of the Lord. It carries with it all the transcendental blessings of Lord Sri Krishna that we can expect from his personal contact. So, Srimad Bhagavatam. It was Lord Vyasadeva, the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord, who wrote, or you may say he transcribed, he wrote this Bhagavad Purana. There are 18 Puranas, 6 in the mode of passion, 6 in the mode of goodness, and 6 in the mode of ignorance. But the Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be Amala Purana, spotless. Spotless because the narration of the Supreme Lord and His pure devotees have been described. That's why called Bhagavatam is the book. It's a book containing all of this Purana, history of the world, history of the universe, history of the entire material cosmos. And here is very nicely explained by Sukadev Goswami. Let's see here. Oh no. Sutta, Sutta, that means the sages of Naimisaranya. Is asking Sutta Goswami, who was present there when the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. We have been to that place where the thousands and thousands of sages were about to perform a sacrifice for the age of Kali, the conditioned souls who will be in Kali Yuga. The predicament is very, very, you may say, not very bright, because age of Kali means it's age of quarrel and hypocrisy, age of chaos, age of quarrel. For the next, what's that, 432,000 years? But we already consumed 5,000 years, so there's another 427,000 years. And in this place, Naimisaranya, there is a bathing place where the chakra drop right there. Chakra means the chakra of Lord Krishna. He's the only one who was having chakra. But this is the place also where the recitation, Sutta Goswami, was there. He was asked to repeat the same narration that was given by Sukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. The pure devotee of the Lord, they are what you call, they have good memory. They know also past, present, and future. Trikalagya. They have memory of the past. They know what's going on, and they know what's going to happen in the future. So the sages are like that. They know what's going to happen in the future. And they asked Sutta Goswami, he has this, is that telegraphic or photographic memory? Photographic memory. That he was able to recite. This is the only solution in Kali Yuga. The narration of the glories of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord and His pure devotees. There is no other way how we can get out Besides this, and also the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, both are kirtan. This glorification of the Lord is also kirtan. Repeating the recitation that was narrated by Vyas. Written, it's recitation, it's a conversation. There is a description. So this is the first time that is going to be heard again from Sutta Goswami by the sages of Naimisaranya. There's still the banyan tree was there, and those who take bath in that sarovar, you may say sarovar, the taking of the bath is not swimming, it's not like you're going around on the chakra. There's the protection. And that place is still looking like 5,000 years ago. It's not changed. It's still the same. Forest. It's like you go to some places in Navadvip, it's never been changed, like it was like that. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had declared that Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless, amala, pure, sound representative of all Vedic knowledge and history. That's why it is being adhered so much by Lord Chaitanya and his associates. They will recite Srimad Bhagavatam every day. And there is this one devotee who can chant the slokas in different meters, different ways. So usually when the speaker would recite, we should follow the same. Not that we try to show that I know many ways how to do this, how many ways how to chant. Let me show. It should not be like that. Because it's the sound. The sound, of course, can have many effect. Sound is powerful. The sound is alive. It's like they did experiment of the plant. They play classical music and it grows very nicely. And then they played heavy metal, some kind of like, noise music, and the animals the plants started to like dried up or dwindle. But during the classical, it's alive. So sound can be, you may say, helpful, and sound can be also not helpful at all when it comes to being polluted. There's what you call noise pollution, isn't it? Huh? You've heard of that? Noise pollution? There is also sound pollution. That not just noise, it's the sound more of it has nothing to do with upliftment of the soul to become pure, because the soul is always pure, but it becomes covered up. It became covered up by the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Mostly modes of ignorance and passion. When we hear some sound vibration which is not worthy of hearing, it put us down. It brings us down. And if there are some, say, bhajans or kirtan or narration coming from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and especially being explained by Srila Prabhupada, then by reading them, by hearing them, we come in personal contact of the Supreme Lord. It says that wherever there is the gatherings of devotees, Lord Krishna is present because of the narration of His glories, name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes. There is no difference between the Lord and all of these different things. So for that matter, this is what he called Krishna is the absolute truth, supreme absolute truth, which means anything that pertains or in relationship with the Supreme Lord, we're also like having contact with the Supreme Lord, because none different from Him. And especially the Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation. Literary, that means it's a book, but it's Krishna. Literary incarnation. That means there is no difference between what is being described in the book, Bhagavatam, and the personality, Bhagavan. We call Bhagavan. But as it is mentioned here, it has to be received from a bona fide spiritual master, just like what we're hearing right now from Srila Prabhupada's lotus lips. But then again, he says that he did not write these books. Krishna wrote these books. So how much more we can go beyond that, go better than that, or go something better. What is something better than God? If there is something better than God, then that person is not God. The one who is better, I don't know what is he also. Because God, no one can be greater than God. Another name for Krishna is Asamordva. Asamordva means no equal and no greater than Him. That is the position of Lord Krishna. And the same with Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is like that. And for that matter, the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is directly the words coming from Lord Krishna. And the Bhagavatam is about Lord Krishna. And from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is compared to the smiling face of Lord Krishna, the different limbs of the Supreme Lord is compared to the different parts of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Like the first and second canto is compared to His lotus feet. Then it goes up to His knees, to His navels, to His chest, by different cantos. And then when it comes to the smiling face of Lord Krishna, that is the 10th canto. That is the Saman Bonam. Saman Bonam means that is the topmost of all the pastimes there, especially His childhood pastimes. They are the sweetest. Balya, Balya Lila, childhood. That means starting from when he killed Putana. then Sakatasura, then Trinivarta, and all these different demons. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. It is narration about the Supreme Lord and about His devotees. And if it's repeated by a pure devotee, then it becomes sweeter, it becomes more nectarine, just like Sukha, Sukadev. Sukadev means parrot, Sukha. His parrot of Radharani, Sukadev. And it says that in the Srimad Bhagavatam you will never hear or find the name of the gopis. No. In the 10th canto, no. You will not hear. You will not hear the name of Radharani. You will hear the name of Mother Yasoda or Rohini or other elderly gopis, but not the young ones. Because it says that if Sukadeva Goswami mentions the name of Radharani even at least once, then the Srimad Bhagavatam probably will not have come to an end, because he will fall into ecstasy. He will he'll be out externally. So the representatives of Sukadeva Goswami are the ones who are authorized to narrate and glorify the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. There are many unscrupulous, professional Bhagavatam reciters who capitalize or uses the Bhagavatam for their livelihood. Which means that the Bhagavatam is not being recited purely. It may sound nice and good or enjoyable while the katha is going on, but it doesn't purify the listeners. In order for the Bhagavatam to have its full effect, one should hear from the right source, and the listeners also should be qualified. What do you mean by listeners should be qualified? What does it mean? It means that we should hear attentively, wholeheartedly, and don't make any speculation. That accept as it is, and mostly we hear because for our purification. This is the main purpose. And how we can measure one's advancement in Krishna consciousness is when how much eager we are to hear these pastimes of the Supreme Lord from the Srimad Bhagavatam, from other Puranas, Samhitas. Do we have to study scrutinizingly? That means not just reading, but because when we read, we also hear. That is also hearing. Sometimes they ask, how come I cannot remember what I read? Most of the times it's just like, just go go away very fast. We have to hear more again and again. This is the solution. There's no other solution that you can get. Because the more we hear, the more we become purified. The more we become free from ignorance. We'll be able to understand the different lessons from the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are many stories in the Srimad Bhagavatam that we can apply in our daily activities, daily program, daily life. And if we do so, then we will be able to see the presence, we feel the presence, the personal presence of the Lord. And hopefully one day we will see Krishna face to face. I will stop here. Is there any question? Yes. Can we hear you from there? Or you have another mic?
Maharaj, you just mentioned about the chakra fell down there and there is a kund there. And similarly we have Radha Kund, Sham Kund. So are we allowed to take a dip there?
Take back where?
Dip
Where?
in the kund?
Which kund?
Radha Kund, Sham Kund, or
It's a good question, but which one you have to follow? You have to follow what Rupa Goswami says, that we should take bath there regularly. It is the most sacred place in the universe, and at the same time, the Radhakund is Radharani's transcendental form, liquid form. It's like here, literary, incarnation, form, Srimad Bhagavatam. You don't put your feet on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So similarly, we don't put our feet in Govardhan Hill. Govardhan Hill also. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says we should not go on top of the hill. It's not good because that will be an offense. Our feet on the foot hills of Govardhan. So Srimati Radharani is there as a liquid form. If one goes there, take a bath, but then the material desires he wants to increase, then actually he's not taking bath in, this is what the Acharya says, Radha Kund. They take bath in Naraka Kund. Naraka. What's Naraka? Hellish. Hellish. Because our consciousness should be pure when we take bath. Liberated souls can do that. For sadhakas like us, we can just take 3 drops, put onto our head. That is the same as like taking bath. Snan. Have to be careful. We have to ask permission from our spiritual master and also from those who are more advanced than we are. You ask permission from them, and Prabhupada didn't take a bath, Bhaktisiddhanta didn't take a bath, Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not take a bath. Of course, we've heard Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took a bath. But in those days, there's no like this big, just small, like even covered by grass. Very small area. And then from there, it became big. He says that on the bottom, actually the color of Radhakun's water is like from Sweetadweep, the milk ocean, coming from the milk ocean. That's what they said. So when you go right to the main point, it's like whitish coming. You know. They clean Radhakund once in a while, so devotees have that opportunity to go. So many steps. You go way. Any other question? Yes.
So, thank you, Maharaj, for giving us the opportunity to do pure devotional service. The question is, since you have seen you have realized the truth, so what is the core crux of Srimad Bhagavatam?
The what?
What is the core crux of Srimad Bhagavatam? Or like, which instruction has been repeated most in Srimad Bhagavatam?
Well, if you go to the, let's go and check, okay? 13th chapter of the 12th canto is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. It went back. That is the last chapter, okay, of the 12th canto. So, here it explains more. Let's see the last verse. Hare Krishna. I'm going to show you. See what is the last verse. See the last verse. Nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranamo dukkha shamanas tang namami harim param. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of whose holy names destroys all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisances unto whom relieves all material suffering. So, this is the conclusion. Again, is the chanting of the holy name is mentioned here. And Lord Hari. Hare Krishna. There's no difference between Lord Krishna and the Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting. So let's continue reading and chant.
Yes, Maharaj.
That's what it says there. Yeah?
Yes. One more question. So, since you said the advancement in Krishna consciousness depends upon eagerness to hear, so what are the different levels to introspect that? How close I am to eagerness to hear?
Those who are making advancement, they don't measure themselves. They feel that they don't make any advancement. They're at the same time they're not satisfied. They're always endeavoring to make advancement. Yes?
Yes, Maharaj.
Those who are thinking they're advanced, they don't endeavor anymore. They're okay. If it happens, it happens. Something like that. It's okay. No. They're always, those who are making advancement, they're always eager to do more service. Yeah. And better not assess yourself. Others can see what you're doing, how you're doing. They may not see the motivation of your actions, but it will speak through your actions and through your words how advanced you are. It is very subtle. You cannot tell. But when they speak, you can tell. Yeah?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Because looks can be deceiving. That's what they say, right?
Yes.
Looks can be deceiving. Sometimes you see devotees go running back and forth, oh, yeah, everywhere. He's everywhere. But he's not able to accomplish one thing. And he's committing many aparads in dealing with other devotees. Is that good? Is that good or not?
No.
Of course not. So is that advanced? No.
And like, what's the core qualification of a Madhyamadhikari?
He's humble. A neophyte is not humble. Is he humble?
No.
Of course not. The first quality that we need to develop is humility. As Prabhupada says, the leaves, they're very tolerant, or the grass, or more humbler, yeah. Or the tree, more humbler than a tree, more humbler than a blade of grass, and more tolerant than a tree. And we should learn from them. And not expecting any respect for ourselves, but be ready to offer respect to everyone. Now that is very, very hard to do if you are not willing to do it. You must be willing. So humility is the number one quality, the foremost quality that we need to develop. Any other question? Yes? Huh? We cannot hear you. You are in the balcony. We are in the general,
Hello. So you mentioned about the first 10,000 years as the golden age of Kali.
Yeah, 10,000.
So I just want to know from scriptural points the reference. Where,
Yeah, that was
reference?
mentioned. That was mentioned by our founder Acharya. Yeah,
May I know like from where he derived the
I can find out from you.
Fine.
I can look it up for you.
Oh.
You want me to do the research now?
No, it's okay.
Okay, I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Any more question?
Maharaj, I have one more question.
Okay.
It's not a question,
Then what is it?
It is like we want to
Is a recommendation? Is a recommendation? Or what is it?
the devotees, especially the initiated devotees, when visiting the temple, how they should look like.
What's that?
How they should look like. How they can represent that they are the devotees from ISKCON, Parampara,
They have to chant.
and how they look like.
Look like devotee.
So what dress they should put on.
Gentleman dress. It's not as important what you're wearing, it's more important what you're inside. That is the whole thing. If somehow we can, when we come to the mandir, we can wear our devotional clothes, then that is better. Then you feel more at home.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So just a quick question. There is a misconception that on busy days like festivals, some devotees would just prefer to sit whole day and chant. Some devotees like to do service. So and then when you ask the devotees who like to sit and chant whole day, why to do some service for us, but they say no, this chanting is the most important. So it's kind of a misconception. What's the Shastra's way of telling?
Hare Krishna. We have to be practical, because if no one will move, then there is no festival. Someone has to cook, someone has to decorate. But it looks like you have your decoration here, very nice. So it's always like a festival here now. But someone has to cook prasad, to serve prasad. On Ekadasis, we should chant more. Festival time, sometimes we will miss our rounds because we're fully engaged. There's no time to chant. Or you can have a clicker with you. You can manage to see. It's not so easy. For those who are not busy, then they should be chanting, yeah. But not everyone should chant. And no one is busy. That is busy also, to chant. But we have to do some practical service so that, because many visitors come, we have to serve them. We can cook only khichdi prasad, that's not a problem, but it would be nice. Festival means festival, including the offerings, more opulent than usual, for the pleasure of the Lord. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, please.
Why, you want to chant only? You can chant.
No. But there are few devotees that wanted to set up some example for them.
You can chant, no problem. Oh, okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you say the primary quality to be devotee is a humbleness, but it has to come naturally. So, how to become a humble?
How to become humble?
Yeah.
Be humble. That's how you become humble. It may not, in the beginning, it may not acceptable from inside, just to offer obeisances. We have to do to the body, mind, words, and our very self. That is what you call when we offer obeisances. Namaha. Namaha means obeisances, surrender. Even if it is not there, the surrender mood, we should still do it. Physically, it may not be internally, we are feeling it, or we have that, we don't have that. Eventually, it will come. It will come. So in the beginning, it may be a little bit, we have to force ourselves. Knowingly that this is the proper way to do it, proper thing to do. It's like a child. A child, when he sees the father offering obeisances, no second thought. Immediately offer obeisances, or sometimes will go climb on the top and offer obeisances over there. So they don't need to be told to do that, right? But once they grow up, now they started to try to measure or try to see what he's doing. Sometimes these boys, when they grow up, they're very hesitant now to offer obeisances. Yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah? And then after some time, the parents will say, do, go. Yes? And if they are obedient, then they will follow.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we stop here. Anything else? He says here, hold on, I'm going to read you a quote. I think this is from 12 to 31. There is a quote here. I don't know where is this. O Ganga Devi, on the earth 5,000 years of Kali will be sinful, and those sinners will deposit their sins in you by bathing. Thereafter, by the sight and touch of those who worship me by my mantra, all those sins will be burned. O Ganga Devi, the whole planet will become a pilgrimage site by the presence of Vaishnavas, even though it had been sinful. In the body of my devotees remains eternally the purifier. Mother Earth becomes pure by the dust of the feet of my devotees. For 10,000 years of Kali, such devotees of mine will fill the whole planet. After the departure of my devotees, there will be only one Varna, outcast. Devoid of my devotees, the earth will be shackled by Kali. Saying this, Lord Sri Krishna departed. So there you go. That's one quote.
Which sloka is that, Maharaj?
This is,
Which chapter?
hold on. Brahma Vaivarta Purana,
Oh.
chapter 4, text 129. Bhagavan Sri Krishna spoke to Mother Ganga about the future events which would come soon to pass after his departure from earth. Sri Krishna, who is revealed as the Supreme Personality of Godhead throughout the Bhagavad Gita, returned to his spiritual kingdom at the end of Dwapara Yuga, about 5,000 years ago. Ganga, this is where they dump their sins, sinful reactions of many, many lifetimes can be eradicated when one takes bath in Ganga. The Yamuna, 100 times more potent than Ganga. But more potent than Radhakund and Shamakund. So many bathing places in Vrindavan. Okay? Yes?
So I have also heard that it is better to take bath in transcendental vibration.
What?
So it's in some place it's written that it is better to take bath from transcendental vibration.
Yeah.
Then just going to Ganga for bath. So like it's talking about the hearing process, but how much it is better than
You know,
by any chance?
both ways are good.
Okay.
But if you hear the holy name from a pure devotee, then that is more purifying, of course.
That's top-notch thing, right?
Huh?
That's top-notch thing.
Topmost,
Yes, I mean.
if you can find a pure devotee. But Ganga is always available. You can take bath any time.
Oh yes. Okay.
Even at midnight, he can take bath. But Ganga is always there. A pure devotee, you have to search. And if you're lucky, you'll find one.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Shikanath Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol. His Holiness Bhakti Anugraha Janardana Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.